Valentine's Day is coming around soon, and for me, it's one of my favorite days of the year. I think it is just so cute and sweet and wholesome, even if you're not in love. It's just the way that people are able to express how they care about each other, and the rom-coms that you get to watch and read, and the music you get to listen to, because love is just one of the most fundamental parts of being human. So, with that, every year around Valentine's Day, I try to consume all the romantic content I can, and that is especially important for me with books. So today I wanted to show you some of my favorite love stories that I've ever read. I think I have like 13, 14 picks here, and I'm excited to get into it. So here are some books for you to read as love season is in full swing. The first one we have is one that I tend to talk about in many videos where I talk about favorite books, and that is Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This is a romance that has past and present timelines. It is two people who fell in love in college. They fell apart, didn't see each other for years, and then reconnect, and it is just the most beautiful story. I think it feels so real. The characters are so real, and they just live in my mind rent-free. I love them. This book brought me to tears. It's perfect for Valentine's Day. The next one I have could be controversial depending on how you feel about this author, but we're going to talk about Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. If you're a Coho hater, you may want to skip this one, but I think it's the perfect time to read this right before the movie comes out if you haven't yet. It is one of Colleen Hoover's best, if you ask me. It involves a girl who recently lost her lover, and she reconnects with his best friend. We also learn that she has a daughter who she can't see, and it is just so many different things that take you on the biggest emotional roller coaster, and I really think that Colleen Hoover hit it out of the park with this one. Next up is one that kind of blew up last year, and we have the sequel coming out this year, First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. This is a little cutie rom-com take on Sleepless in Seattle. It is the same kind of concept where, in this case, the mom's daughter calls into a radio station saying that her mom wants to fall in love, and from there we have the cutest romance. I really feel like these characters, again, kind of like Before We Were Strangers, feel so real, and the romantic connection in this book was written so well. It made me fall in love with B.K. Borison, because this was my first book that I read by her, and I just recommend this to everyone. Like, I ate this up like no other, and it is just the best romance I've read in so long. So, she's a keeper. Also, like, the cover is so perfect for Valentine's Day. It's so cute. Next up, we have Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This is the same Christina Lauren that writes things like Love in Other Words and Josh and Hazel's Guide to Dating. But you probably haven't heard of this one before because it is much less known, and it is also a young adult, technically. This one is about two boys who meet in high school. One of them, I think, is in college, and they live in Utah, and it is not very accepted there with the religion and in their families for them to be together. So it is just a tragically beautiful love story. This one is one that has stuck with me for so many years. I recommend it to so many people, and I just don't think it gets the love that it deserves. On the back, Teen Vogue did blurb it and says, "Nails the joys and sadness of growing up queer." And I just think this is one that everybody should read. I want to like gift it to every person I've ever known because it's one that touched me on such a deep level. It's just beautiful. Next up, we have The Two of Us by Taylor Torres. This is the same concept as Love in Other Words, where it's two childhood friends to lovers, and then they grow apart, and then they meet again in adulthood, kind of like Before We Were Strangers, but not at all like that. But this is just the best rendition of that story. I think, like, as much as I love Love in Other Words, this one is so good. Taylor Torres, I believe this was her debut novel, and she got a fan out of me right away. The characters in this are just so precious. I love their love story, and the setting of this one is so good. It's also the same kind of story as Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. So, like, you know, we've all read this story before. We love the story, but this one is one that I think less people have read and that more people should. So, next up, we have one that I actually binge read a couple years ago right before Valentine's Day, so like, I'm telling you, this is the perfect V-Day read. We have Till There Was You by Lindsay Hammeroff. This one is about a chef and a musician, so already in love. They meet, and then they, you know, go their separate ways and then end up meeting again, and it is such a cute story. I wasn't sure what to think of this one because I hadn't heard anything about it. I bought it right when it came out, and like, you know, romances can really go either way. Sometimes they'll be great and sometimes that's not the case, but this one was so cute. Not anything like 5 stars gonna stick with you forever, but definitely a fun, quick one for Valentine's Day. Next up, we're gonna do one that's maybe a little more on the sad side, but is the most beautiful portrayal of love I have possibly ever read. We have Heart the Lover by Lily King. I just read this one at the beginning of this year and it was just incredible. Like, I was feeling so many emotions as I read it. I don't want to give away anything about this book because it truly is the one that you should go into blind, but you kind of have a love triangle in it, but not in an annoying way, because I am not a fan of a love triangle, so I would tell you to stay away if it was bad. It's good. Lily King did a great job telling this story, and you just fall in love with your characters in a way that I never have before. Never. I could not recommend this one more. I did throw a couple YA books in here, so we're gonna do one of those right now. We have Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. This one is about two people who connect over ballroom dancing, which is not something that would necessarily intrigue me. I'm not necessarily one to enjoy ballroom dancing. I'm not even somebody who like watches Dancing with the Stars. So if they took me and made me a huge fan of this book, despite everything I just said, I think that speaks volumes. So this one is great. Could not recommend it enough. It's a beautiful YA book that's also probably going to bring you to tears by the end. So there is a twist. I just don't want to give anything away. So definitely read this one. Next up, we have a classic, an obvious one. How could I not include it? Beach Read by Emily Henry. Honestly, anything by Emily Henry would be great for Valentine's Day, but this one is like the classic OG, beautiful, perfect love story. You have January and Gus, who are both authors. They know each other, and they're kind of enemies, and they make a pact to write a book in each other's genre and fall in love along the way, and it's just so good. If we're gonna throw it back to talking about Roman empires, When I Watch You Sleep, I Feel Overwhelmed That You Exist is mine. So yeah, if you haven't read it, you should. Next up, another YA that is probably not really known. We have Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. Morgan Matson is the queen of YA romance. She just is incredible, and this one is so good. You have two people who are strangers and become lovers. They go on a road trip. Love a road trip in my book, and it's just such a fun ride. I read this one like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and I still think about it. And I still love her so much. It's just so good, especially for the changing of seasons, which we're gonna come upon soon, so. Next one that's a little more fiction, kind of like Heart the Lover, we have Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I am a Dolly Alderton fan. I love her, and this one's a little more unique because it's not exactly a love story, it's more like a reverse love story, because this is basically a story told by a man. Don't let that throw you off, but it is told by the man in the relationship, the guy, and it's basically him reversing, going back through his relationship after a breakup and kind of trying to figure out what happened. And it's really good. It's just really good. I feel like Dolly Alderton is so good, and it's one of those that I was able to sit there and binge, love it, and it's still kind of romance, even if it's not like romance. Then we have a classic at this point. We have Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is just the ideal YA rom-com. It is literally a book that has like rom-com scenes all over the front of it. Every chapter starts with a quote from a rom-com. Like, need I say more? It is basically just the cheesiest, most stereotypical romance you could think of, and it's adorable. And I'm not gonna steer you wrong by telling you to read this. It's just like so good, and if you haven't yet, what are you waiting for? And finally, we end this off with an author, a series, the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams. If you know anything about me, you know she is my favorite. This series is my favorite. Practice Makes Perfect is the best one in my opinion, but they're all so good and they're all bingeable. You can read them in a couple days and be done and just have the best time. I make everyone read these books because they're just that good. You're following a group of siblings and each one of them gets a story to fall in love. Like, hello? What could be more fun? What could be cuter? What could be more wholesome? They're closed door all the way up until I think the last one, maybe the second to last, but it's still low spice and it's just so good. It's so good. I love them. All right, you heard it here first. If you're as excited for Valentine's Day as I am, these are the books that you're gonna wanna read. If you have any recs, let me know though, because I'm always looking for a good romance. Just thinking about these books and how much I love them just has me like giddy. I love this season so much, and I love the colors and I love the hearts and I love just everything about it. So I'm clearly excited. If you guys are too, feel free to let me know. If you have any video ideas or if you want to be friends with me, all my links are down below. That is all I have for you guys today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.